So I think ungrateful for presents is the Lakers GM LeBron James.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I wouldn't say he's ungrateful. He views his presence as commodities, like trading cards. He's like, yeah, let's try to put together some trading cards. But that's why he's the GM, right?
Welcome
To Beyond
Beyond
Sports
Sports
with Paul and Jeremy.
with Paul and Jeremy.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeremy.
We look at sports from all angles.
What's really going on
Beyond Sports.
beyond sports?
Welcome to Beyond Sports with Paul and Jeremy. This is our Christmas special. So again, you know that we love doing these specials. It's one of those things where we add a little bit more comedy into it as well. But I definitely love these types of shows. Jeremy, what's your favorite special that we've done so far, by the way?
I feel like it was the Valentine's special for some reason.
Yeah.
We put a lot of random Boys to Men songs and stuff in there in our commentary, and a lot of people seem to like it. So that one I think is my favorite.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool one. So shout out to the Valentine's Day special. I think that was probably my favorite as well. So but anyways, now we're on to Christmas special. If you guys listened last year, we had a couple of really cool categories, and we're running a lot of those back as well. So if you listen to this show, make sure that you go back and check out our show from last year as well to kind of see who won then and how it's changed this so far this year. So Jeremy, the first category, let's you want to start down our list, start from the beginning? Are we gonna read our list? Are we gonna check it twice? Like, I don't know who's naughty or nice, but I guess we're about to find out. So the first ones up are gonna be our naughty and nice list. So Jeremy, for this naughty list, who has been a problem? Who is not getting any gifts from Santa this year? Who is the kid that has just been messing up at school, bad report cards, keeps beating up his brother, putting little army things in his ear? Like, who is that? Who is that person?
Paul, you already know. You already know who it is. Jacksonville Jaguars coach, the naughtiest of the naughty this year, Urban Meyer. Number one naughty guy. He's leading other people into naughtiness too. He's doing whatever he wants. He's not apologizing. He's acting like things were sweet. Nothing's good with him. So Urban Meyer, number one naughty for me, and he's not getting any presents. He's not even getting cold because he'll try to find a way to sell it or something. He's getting nothing.
Yeah, Urban Myers is he's just all over the place. You know, he got something, I guess. He got a dance, I guess. So that's about the only thing he's gonna get. Could you imagine what's going through Urban Meyer's like mind right now? He went up there, he lost his job, he got in trouble at home. Now is unemployed, and now he has to be around his family the whole day, hearing this crazy stuff. So hey, he's in a bad situation right now. But maybe he needs that. Maybe he needs that time to mend and mingle with his family and make sure that they know that he loves them. So yeah, shout out to Urban Meyer for joining the naughty list. Are we just doing one candidate this year or multiple?
I think if
ones?
you want to do it faster than last time, then yeah, we just do one candidate.
All right, cool. So I'll say the person on my naughty list is he's naughty because he's been eating everybody else's snacks. He hasn't been helping out, and yeah. So the person that on my naughty list is Zion Williamson. This dude is past due to have his debut in the NBA. Like, what's going on with Zion, man? Like, he's done ate all the Twinkies, all the ho-hos. He is milling that rookie year contract, that money. He's living a good life. Is he gonna come back this season, by the way?
I don't know. He could tell you when all the new snacks is coming out. I don't even know though. I really don't know if he's coming back. He's got these nagging injuries that the weight doesn't help. But you know, like, you got to look into it. Like, who knows what's going on psychologically? Like, maybe he's never gone through a period of like this in his career where he can't perform. He's not the best. It's just got to be trying. And also, New Orleans has got some really rich food. So you eat barbecue shrimp, but the barbecue sauce is mostly butter. Like, that's a problem. That's not his fault. But you know, it's hard to eat right down there in New Orleans, I think.
Yeah, those shrimp and grits, man, they'll get you. They'll get you for sure. Man, I know Zion can eat too, man. Because if I was in New Orleans, I'd probably be doing the same thing. I'd be chubby, super chubby. Yeah, I know for sure. Matter of fact, shout out to Little Dizzy's restaurant in New Orleans. One of my friends' grandfathers owns that one. They have some really good food. Make sure you guys check it out if you go down that way.
I'm supposed to be going down there in a couple of months, I believe. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. All the people been there, presidents and everybody. They got pictures of Barack down there and everything. So check it out. Check it out, man. The only other ones that I want to do honorable mention, I put the Olympics on there. The Summer Olympics. I think that they were naughty. Like it was so much going on there. Like it, but I'll just leave it at that because that was a crazy time. The whole fiasco from them having it for the citizens not even wanting to be there. No fans in attendance, like the whole COVID thing. It was a mess, man.
Yeah,
So,
it felt like a dream because I don't remember it whatsoever. I remember that I tried to watch the basketball games and I had to use that NBC Sports app, which was difficult to navigate. I don't remember who won what. I don't remember who the breakout stars were. It seemed weird, but they had it. So that's a thing, I guess.
yeah, definitely. So they get my runner-up award. So I'll take them.
I got one runner-up then real quick. That's going to be AB. Come on. Come on. We were just talking about him. I think he was playing the other night in Tyler Johnson's uniform. Fake vax card.
It wouldn't be the first
when they
time
need
he
him,
did
they
something
broke
crazy.
that glass. Say again?
You said it wouldn't be the first time he did something crazy.
No. And when they needed him, they're going to break the glass. They needed a wide receiver. AB's coming back. He's forgiven, even though he's been said to only have one more chance several chances ago. So he's on the list. Obviously, if you give him the coal, he's going to hit somebody over the head with it. So don't do that either.
See, the funny thing is, right now when you're saying that, I just see him outside outside the Buccaneer Stadium with Biggie's "One More Chance" playing with a boombox, just like yeah.
No
So,
self-awareness.
man, he don't need no more chances. He's gotten chances after chances after chances. Sounds like a Big Sean song.
I'm good at football, girl. You didn't know? That's all it is.
It's silly, man. All right, so we talked about the naughty list. We gave you guys our first person and a runner-up. How about the nice list, Jeremy? Who has been out there contributing? Who's put in the work? Who's abided by the rules? Who's made sure that they're gonna get a gift from Santa this year? Who is the person that you think?
You know what? I'm gonna go with someone that actually caught a lot of heat during her trials, her run. I'm gonna go with Simone Biles. I think Simone Biles, she didn't have to come back for the Olympics, but she came because she is such a historically decorated athlete, Olympian, represents the country almost better than anyone you can think of. She came back for another Olympics to put on for the United States once again. And then she had this problem where she didn't feel safe doing all of her ridiculously hard flips, which she is the only person in the world who can do pretty much. People gave her heat for that, for not wanting to put herself in danger when she admitted, hey, I have a mental health issue. I need to step down. I need to stop doing gymnastics. So I give her that because she stood up for herself. She shed light on mental health problems. So I think she was nice. I think she stood up, and I think she did exactly what a person in her position should do and be an example, be a role model. So Simone Biles, thank you for what you did this year, and you are on the nice list.
Hey, you made the nice list. Congrats, by the way. I think that's a really good addition. I'm gonna go with who do I want to? I put two people down here, so I'm gonna give my first one, and then I'll do that little runner up. The first one's gonna be Jonathan Taylor. Like what he's done so far this year, he hasn't complained. He hasn't taken too much credit. He's just a very humble guy. He's out there blocking. He's out there making Carson Wentz look good. People even think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback for some reason. So, Jonathan Taylor, with all that he's done for the team on the offensive side, there's some dogs on the defense.
Oh, great.
Yeah, got all kinds of dogs. So we got some dogs on the defense, but Jonathan Taylor, what he's done this year, and I think that it's very impressive in the second year. And I think that everything he's done has been right. No complaints. No, I need the ball more. He just does his job, and I think that put him on the nice list for sure this year. So, all right,
honorable
Jeremy,
mention. I had let me see, who should I go with? I'm gonna go with Steph for honorable mention because he's breaking every record you could possibly break right now from 3-pointers. So I'm gonna go with that. He's been doing his thing. We projected into the future he was gonna break this record, and it feels like he did it quicker than we thought. Like the guy's He might be on another one of our categories later, but Steph is up there, maybe Giannis too, from just what he did in the finals.
Yeah, I was gonna actually go with Cooper Cup actually for my runner up, but you know who I'm gonna switch that to? I'm gonna switch my runner up to Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is on a nice list. He's been doing everything. He played his role. He stayed with the same team, got another contract, and he's still getting better this year, which is crazy. But shout out to Bobby Portis and being that honorable mention runner up for the nice list. So shout out to you. You got your championship. Maybe you'll get another one. We'll see how it goes with the NBA season. So
I like that one. That was good.
Yeah. All right. Our next round is the biggest or the best gifts, right? So Jeremy, I'll let you introduce this one. So what are you thinking with the biggest to the best gift? Because I took it two different ways. So I have a couple different things that I'll put out there. So what are you thinking with this one?
Yeah, it always comes down to, is it the addition of a positive or the subtraction of a negative, right? That's kind of how these gifts can go. Sometimes you just remove a negative situation and, hey, that's a great gift, I'm happy, or you just give me something good. So I went with something that was basically a negative. I went with the Suns' collapse in the NBA Finals. Suns were up 2-0. They were feeling themselves a little bit, I'm pretty sure. Everybody was talking about Chris Paul's finally got a ring, right? Chris Paul finally did it. He took this team from the bubble, from the bottom of the play-in. Well, they didn't make the bubble, but
bottom of the map.
They were the bottom of everything. He brought them up, brought them to a championship, and then 4 straight games, Giannis happened to him. Chris Middleton happened to him. Crazy Eyes Bobby Porter happened to him. And it was over, and nobody knows why. I still don't know how it happened. I went back, tried to look at the box scores, tried to understand. I don't get it. All we could say was it was a collapse. So for that was a gift to Milwaukee. And Milwaukee just stayed the course. They just played their normal way. Giannis elevated just a little bit, but I think that they just didn't play poorly the way that the Suns did.
Yeah, dude. I think that was definitely an interesting one. Like what the Bucks did in that win was really amazing. You know what I mean? Coming back from, it wasn't even just the game, but all the criticism, right? Like there was so much criticism that was going on with them, and they said, you know what, we're gonna put it together. We're gonna make this happen. So shout out to them and what they did. Man, biggest gift. Shoot, dang, and I'll say the biggest gift, and I'll put this as my second one. But I think the biggest gift is man, I had a lot. I actually want to go with Antonio Brown because he keeps getting all these gifts. He got the championship, right? He got a second chance, he got a third chance, a fifth chance, and we know that there's more chances that are coming because he's going to need all of those chances. If he keeps going down the route, he's going to be like,
more chances than Monopoly.
Yeah, he must be just amazingly good. Like we knew he was good before when he was consistent and not getting in trouble. Maybe he's just as good now. They're just having different types of issues. So I guess we'll see what happens with Antonio Brown. For this one, I definitely want to look and say, who are some of the runner-ups that you gave for biggest gifts? Because I'm going to list all 3 other ones that I had.
Okay, so I had actually Novak Djokovic's year, winning 3 majors in a row at the beginning of the year and having the first legitimate Grand Slam talk in 50 years maybe. And, as a tennis fan, I watched all the matches, all his Grand Slam matches, and right down to when he lost in the U.S. Open. So it was big because I think it kept people talking about tennis in a way that they hadn't and watching tennis in a way that they hadn't in a long time.
Yeah.
Some other ones I had, I had the Olympics for happening. I know the Olympics was controversial, but I had that, hey, they happened. So it was a gift for some people, the Olympians especially, who got to go and actually do the thing that they've been training for,
I will say that that's definitely a positive. There's a lot of people that didn't go to the Olympics, and it gave the opportunity for some people that may never have that chance to represent their country. And I think that is a really cool thing to have that opportunity to go out and show what you can do on a huge stage, even if you're not the top person in the sport. It's a really cool thing to be a part of. So hopefully we're getting to this next stage of COVID. The Winter Olympics is coming up pretty soon as well, right? 2022, right?
Yeah, I believe.
So a lot of things that are going on with that. But yeah, shout out to the Olympics for happening, I guess.
Also had April 4th, April 4th, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Roy Williams retired. Everybody thought it was an April Fool's gag, but I think that the UNC coaching job was a big gift for Hubert Davis. Everybody wanted it to be him. He got the job, and he's really happy. It's his dream job, so I hope he does well. That's my team, so I got to follow that. Michigan finally beating Ohio State. Maybe Ohio State was a down year, true freshman quarterback, but Michigan finally got that win, so I'm glad to see that
Finally.
too. And then lastly, NIL, paper. So I think that's a huge gift for these collegiate athletes. And Bryce Young supposedly made $1 million, and he won the Heisman, and he's got 2 more years, or at least 1 more year, I think. So hey, good for them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle back on some of these. We're gonna do a show because those are so many good points that we should definitely talk about, especially that the NIL, because we did a show about that one. We should revisit that as well. The Michigan one, I actually thought about that one as well, just beating Ohio State and getting to the championship. That was pretty amazing. The other ones that I had was the boxer named Paul is what I categorize him as. I don't know if he's considered necessarily an athlete or not, but he's had a lot of interesting wins. Maybe some people got paid off to bring him up to the level that he's at, but hey, it's entertainment. He's making money. He got to fight against Floyd Mayweather. If I got to fight against Floyd Mayweather, would I? Man, I don't know. Probably. I'd just be ducking and rolling. Yeah, I'd fake a quad injury. I don't know, something.
For how many million? Yeah, man, I'd do it.
Hey, just to be like, you know what? Back in my day, I fought Floyd Mayweather. But yeah, the other ones, Tom Brady and the refs, I think that's definitely a gift. Like the marriage that they have is similar to the marriage that Carson Wentz and Frank Wright has. So
it's undying love, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like refs sometimes they don't even know what to do sometimes. Brady will get hit and they'll be like, do you want to call? He'll be like, yeah, give me the call. And then they'll throw the flags. Like, Come on now, man. Like he is so pampered as far as a quarterback goes in the NFL. So
the crazy
shout out
thing
to him
is,
and this
like 2 years ago, it was Mahomes, right? 2 years ago, Brady was an afterthought. They were ready for him to retire, and he just didn't retire. And so they just changed the entire course of the league and made it about him. He was done. It was time to usher in a new star, right?
Yeah.
It was over. You weren't hearing about Brady like this 2 years ago.
Nope. And now you are. So Brady's back. Guess who's Bizak? Tom is Bizak. All right, cool. The other one that I had was Sydney Mclaughlin, right? So she broke the 400-meter hurdle record at the Olympics. She's the first woman to run under 52 seconds in that. And hey, shout out to that, being an Olympian, breaking a world record that's been around for a while. Oh, well, it was around for a while before it got broken, and then she just rebroke it. So amazing accomplishment. I used to do hurdles in high school, so I appreciate the hurdles and what she did at a super high stage. She came back and hawked the girl too at the end. Like she was behind those last 2 hurdles. She just got that speed and gassed her. So shout out to Sydney on that huge accomplishment. So yeah. Any others for biggest gift or best gift, by the way?
Nah, I read out all of mine.
All right, cool. So the next one that we have is who stole their siblings' presents? For me, this was one where it was kind of interesting. I don't know. Did you write anything down for this one, Jeremy?
I did not. I'm going to come up with something, though.
All right. Well, I'll say the first person that stole their siblings' presents, even though I have no siblings, I'm going to say me. I stole all my siblings' presents. I don't know how I made it to the playoffs in all 4 of my fantasy football leagues. Like 2 of those leagues I lost last week, and it was just like the real world where everybody's 7-7. Somehow I end up getting last place. So I'm in all the leagues. One, I think I'm first place. Another, I'm like fourth. Another, I'm fourth. Another, I'm fourth. But hey, I made it. So I'm still in presence out here. So just be on the lookout if I come to your fantasy football league, because I'm taking spots.
Taking the last playoff spot.
Taking the last playoff spot. The other people I had was Giannis, because he literally always steals his brother's championships, right? So that's one. And then Cam Newton, man. Cam Newton is out here still in glory, man. Like still in glory through shame, man. You can't take somebody else's accomplishments or lack of there and say, oh, this was my non-accomplishment. I did that not as good as anybody else has. So I don't know what's going on with Cam, but maybe he'll get a win this week. I actually picked him to win this game, so we'll see what happens with Cam in the Panthers. So Jeremy, if you thought about somebody that stole their siblings' presents, who would it be?
This one's a weird one because it's through injury, but I feel like our boy Taysom Hill stole Jameis Winston's presents. And Jameis, get better, man, because I was really looking forward to seeing Jameis quarterback New Orleans all year long, and he had that ACL injury. And then we had to see Taysom Hill, who he beat in the quarterback competition, who he's been a better quarterback. But, you know, it's through injury, so there's not much you can do about it. I just wish that it wouldn't have happened, because now I have to see the Wildcat run every week with New Orleans.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like, he won the competition because I don't know if you can really consider Taysom Hill a true quarterback. You know what Taysom Hill is? You know when they used to have that Madden game where you only got a certain amount of points to build your player, so you had to like add speed, add height. Their passing ability wasn't down a little bit, so they can kind of make some plays, but they're like super quick. And then you make them short so that they can be faster and have more attributes. That's what Taysom Hill is. He's a made-up player that is playing the position. He was built up, but yeah, that's all that I'm getting from Taysom Hill. But you know, he does what he does well enough to win games. Ask the Bucks about that one. Shout out to Evan, who was on the show earlier. I know that had to taste pretty bad for them, especially with the injury. So shout out to Taysom Hill, what he's doing. He's the Madden My Player of the Year award winner. So shout out to Taysom Hill for what he's done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when we used to do that, our guys were 99 everything, so we would be able to pass pretty well. So I think you're right. They ran out of points when it came to the passing, but they had already built him up so much. They're like, man, he's playing quarterback anyway because I already built him up. And forget the throw power and the throw finesse and accuracy. Don't worry, we don't need that. We'll just make him run.
Like, we're just going to run and deep passes. Runs, deep passes, and little short crossing routes. That's it. Yeah, but now they changed it around where all that stuff is linked together. So, oh, well. But, yeah, shout out to Taysom Hill on what he did. So, the next one that we have is our Grinch Award, right? So, Jeremy, who wins your Grinch Scrooge Award? Who is that person that keeps complaining, who was never okay to have anything, that doesn't want to give anything away, just that miser? Like, who is that person that just that's just the mean one? Who is the mean one in the NFL?
I really feel like we're going to have to rename this award in honor of this recipient. It's only been 2 years in a row, but I feel like this is a trend. Our boy Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie is going to just be the namesake of this award because he's grumpy about something at all times. And he just doesn't want the status quo to happen. He wants it to be Kyrie's way. So Kyrie's taking a stance against the vaccine. Okay, that's fine. But I just feel like when he takes a stance, he has to make it known, right? How many NFL players are unvaccinated? It's a lot. We don't even realize how many aren't vaccinated until they test positive.
Or right? Until they show their fake vax papers.
Yeah, until they show that fake vax card, right? But we didn't even know about it. But like he's one of those people that he has to make it known, right? He is going to make a stink about stuff in the name of social justice or something. But sometimes it's just like, hey man, we actually accept you. We accept your stance on things. You just don't have to make a deal about it. But he's making a deal about it. He's bah humbugging and grumping and not liking the Who's down in Whoville, just trying to do their thing. So he's being a little grinchy about this whole situation.
Yeah, I think I need to change this award too, because I actually like the Grinch. I think the Grinch is actually a really cool character, right? I think I talked about that last year.
Oh,
yeah,
you shouted him out. And also, remember, he has permanently changed. His heart actually grew 3 sizes to the proper size, or 1 size bigger, right? So he's actually a good person ever after, which we never give him credit for.
Maybe he was a good person all along, but you know, that is a weird thing about the heart growing. Either his heart was normal size and now he has an enlarged heart, so he definitely can't play sports.
It was 2 sizes too small. It was originally 2 sizes too small. Well, that was the hypothesis. So
man, he probably was always tired then, not enough oxygen. Something was going on with him. I'd be grumpy if I didn't have enough oxygen either. You know,
and he's living on a mountain. It's already thin air.
Yeah, thin air. Yeah, he was struggling big time. So, shout out to Kyrie, I guess. I actually like Kyrie, man. I like what he's doing. Like, I don't think that Kyrie necessarily goes for a bunch of attention. I feel like what really happens is that people just want that story. They're like, oh yeah, Kyrie's sitting out. Why are you sitting out, Kyrie? Nobody was like, okay, Kyrie, why don't you want to get the vaccine, right? Like, it's like, this is what I what I choose, what I feel. I actually like that Kyrie is being an individual. There's a lot of people that are basketball players first and then they're individuals. Kyrie's just saying like, this is me and I play basketball. Like it's fun. It's a child's game that I get paid for. And I appreciate it, but I'm going to stay true to me because that's who I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. I ain't going to be walking around as Uncle Drew when I'm that old.
Yes,
Could you imagine he'll do an Uncle Drew?
He
just
most
dresses
likely
up as
will.
Uncle Drew just to hang around the house. Do you think he does that, like dresses up as Uncle Drew?
Yeah,
I
he
think
goes
he needs
around.
to make
He's
a
like,
show.
he's like, "Hey, young blood, buckets." He just does that probably all the time.
Buckets.
It's all about buckets. No, I agree. I respect his individuality. I like that he is. I just feel like there are people who are individuals, and then there are people who tell you that they're individuals, right? And I just feel like he has a thing where he has to like make it known, and he has to fight people rather than just doing his own thing and being in his own lane.
Yeah, but I think that he has to do that because the biggest thing is that when you look at Kyrie and you see him just not doing something or saying something, then a lot of people criticize him. They say specific things about him. So what he does instead, he gives all the information so that he can say, well, listen, instead of you guys building up your own narratives, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is so that you don't have to worry about it, right? And then once you know that information, you can judge it however you want to. But now you know all the information, and that's the biggest thing. So shout out to Kyrie for doing that and being a part of himself, I guess. Shout out to Uncle Drew for that movie. I need to watch that again just to see how funny it is.
And for getting buckets.
He gets buckets. Next team is the Griswold team, right? So
hold up. Who'd you have on your Grinch or Scrooge team?
My Grinch Scrooge. My Grinch Scrooge was actually Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I feel like Aaron Rodgers was that guy. He's always mad. He's always grumpy. He always wants it his way. He does a really good job, right? Like Scrooge made money, right? Like, but hey, he was a miser. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers does deliver a lot of presents and gifts, but he does it his way. So I say that Aaron Rodgers with the whole vaccine thing of saying he got it, but he didn't get it, trying to play by different rules, and then being mad about the team. Like he's always just grumpy. You know what I mean? Like even when he's happy, he's grumpy. Like so, I think that Rodgers wins my Grinch Scrooge Award for this year.
He was actually one of my runners up for my naughty list, so I completely agree on that one.
Yeah, sounds good. So our next one is the Griswold team. So the Griswold team is basically that team that just goes that roundabout way, but they're still in the hunt. Like that, you can never really count them all the way out. It's like they should have been out, but you're like, why are they still around, man? And the weird thing is that in the NFL this season, it seems like there's a lot of Griswold teams if you really think about it. NBA, that's another one of those things as well. So what do you think, Jeremy? Who'd you give the Griswold team to?
Yeah, I think this team, they definitely drove off a mountain somewhere, ended up on the right highway, course corrected, flew through some valley, ended up back where they always were. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. So they've taken a lot of weird detours to get to where they are now, which is the top of the AFC, which is where they kind of have always been traditionally the last few years and where you expected them to be. But they were okay at the beginning of the year, won their first couple of games, then they nosedived, and it looked like they were just bad. Now they don't look good still, but they're right back where they always were, right at the top of things. I think they're the Griswold team because however they're doing it, however back roads they're taking, and the car's breaking down, and they're getting rides, and somehow they're getting where they need to be right now.
Yeah, I definitely could see that with the Chiefs. I'm going to say the Griswold team is dealer's choice, honestly, because every single team, especially in the NFL this season, probably should have went to a different sport, but especially in the NFL this season, they all have their issues. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, right? Like he's supposed to be old, but they have a chance for the playoffs, right? The Raiders, they've had so many issues, but they're right there. The Ravens, they've had a lot of different issues, but they're right there, So I feel like this is one of those years where a lot of people could definitely be in it. So I'm going to give this to all the NFL teams that are in contention to make the playoff. You guys are all the Griswold team for this year. Even the Colts, like everybody is. But I do want to throw in one weird one that's a side note. And I'm going to say this because you can never count this team out, no matter how old or slow they are. That's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers because I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. Even last year, it was like, yeah, they started out rough and then they figured it out. this year. They're starting out rough. They got injuries. They owed. Did you hear that the Lakers have the most minutes walking up the court out of any team in the NBA so far this season?
Yeah.
It's true, man. Like it's true. Like how many times can LeBron just keep wearing down his knees, dunking on these young dudes, man? Like, hey, whatever he's doing is very impressive, you know. So shout out to the Lakers for being the Griswold team. I still believe that they have a really good shot throughout the season, but yeah, that's wow, man. So,
but you got to admit though, LeBron has to be top 5, maybe top 2 in NBA history in spraining his ankle and then coming back and play like nothing happened. I saw him do that the other night. Like, how in the world is he still doing this? He landed on somebody's foot, twisted his ankle, writhed in pain for like a minute, and then he got up and it was like, I'm cool. He's always doing that. So for whatever reason, the walking recuperates him, I guess, but he's still at it.
He got that stem cell plasma replacement.
PRP.
Yeah, those super steel ankles that will last you a lifetime. Like his ankles are so good, they're gonna last longer than than he will. Like once he's dead and gone, his ankles gonna have their own talk show talking about back in my day in the NBA. Yeah. Anyways,
nobody ever broke me.
Nobody ever broke me. I yammed on a bunch of fools. All right, cool. The next one is our Red Rider team. So Jeremy, I'll let you bring in the Red Rider team. Did you put anything down for the Red Rider team?
Yeah, I had a couple teams. So the Red Rider team, if you remember A Christmas Story, Ralphie wanted this Red Rider BB gun. He wanted it. That was the only thing he wanted. Everybody kept telling him, Ralphie, you're gonna shoot your eye out. Don't get the Red Rider BB gun. And he wanted it, and he got it. And the first thing he did, almost shot his eye out. So what teams wanted to make certain moves that actually were not good for the long-term stability or the future of the team, and they shot themselves and they shot their eyes out? The team that I had in mind immediately is the Brooklyn Nets. This is a mess. They're still winning games. Kevin Durant is playing way too much. I feel like even last year he was playing way too much. I was like, this guy is just coming back off of a torn Achilles, and he's just playing a crazy ton of minutes. Kyrie's been hurt. James Harden's been hurt. They've had a lot of players come in and out, and they're trying to just basically make up the roster because of all the salary they're paying their big 3 guys. They had DeAndre. They got rid of him. It's just all the moves they're making just seem to be not exactly working. And there's a lot of teams that feel stronger and more team-like, you know, and maybe that James Harden deal was what put it over the top and made them shoot their eye out. But there's something that I can't quite explain that's not right about that Nets team. But I think for me, they're the Red Rider team.
Yeah, I think for me, I definitely agree with that with the Nets. Like they just wanted so much there, and it's partially falling apart for different things, right? They have a lot of really big personalities. And then one of the things that I've heard about James Harden was that since the rule change, right, he's not able to do the same things as he used to. He's not getting the same types of calls, and that's changing around his game overall. So he's not as efficient or as effective as he was before. So that's one of the things to kind of keep in mind with James Harden. So the other one that I thought about, I was considering the Jets as one because of what they did, but you know, I think I'm going to give it to the whole Philadelphia 76ers organization. And I think that it's kind of like a mess. But, you know, I think that the whole Ben Simmons thing is just weird. Like they could have traded him away. They didn't need to keep him around. They should have just let him go. They should have got some value. Now he's a disruption for the team, and he's still not playing. Who knows if he'll ever play again? They're trying to trade him, but nobody wants to offer what they want to offer. They should have just cut their losses, said, all right, let's get back some young talent. Let's get some picks back and let's move on. It would have been better. Tyrone Massey is doing a really good job, right? So, hey, you know, like they could have let Ben Simmons go. They could have got a lot more out of it, but now it's just getting kind of old and dragging out. So I think that for the whole 76ers organization, I'll give them the Red Rider team award.
That is my second on my list. I totally agree. They should have just traded Ben Simmons. This whole staring him down, trying to wait it out thing is just not working. It's messing up their team chemistry as well. And about the Nets, we didn't even mention, of course, that Kyrie is planning on sitting out. Now they're going to let him play away games, right? So he's still not going to play the home games. So again, it's injuries were a problem last year. This year, it's other issues that are off the floor. And
Yeah.
for James Harden, I also heard that about how the rule change is affecting his ability to score. And if your entire game is built on manipulating the refs into getting you free throws, who knew, right? Because we knew that James Harden was an
Who
effective
knew?
scorer,
Who
right?
knew?
We thought,
Yeah.
hey, he's really good at scoring. But shouldn't he be able to adapt and find a new way to score? Like there shouldn't be only one way for him to score. He's a great 3-point shooter. He's a great finisher and he gets to the lane. He handles. Is he tired? Is there something else going on? Because not getting calls shouldn't be a reason for him not to be as effective. So that is also a problem.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what happens. You change around the NFL, and now you get these types of situations happening. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it was, and yeah, and go on from that.
Yeah,
one.
no. Uncle Drew's like the game is all about free throws. So that's what it is now. So apparently that's what it is.
Dude, it's kind of funny. Like the Nets fans will never get to see Kyrie play live unless they go to a different stadium. That's actually pretty hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's I guess they go see him play in no, they can't see him play at Madison Square Garden. I don't know. What's the closest one? Philly? I guess they go to Philly.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh well. It'll be interesting to see how Kyrie does. He's going to have so many breaks. What happens in the playoffs if they make the playoffs, right? Which they probably will. What happens then? He only plays road games then? Are they going to make an exemption?
They're going to need to win all their road games. Yeah.
It's okay. Like COVID will probably take over the NBA by then. We probably will be in a bubble again. So, oh well, whatever. It is going to be what it's going to be. The next one that we have 3 more awards to pass out. So we'll try to get those done within like the next 10 minutes or so. So the first one is ungrateful for presents. Who got a gift, didn't really value it. They were just like, I don't really need this gift. Like this is trash. Like, dude, you should be happy that you got anything. Now you're up here complaining. Who is that? Who is a person that is ungrateful for the gifts that they've been given and doesn't really give them the right type of respect, or didn't give them the right type of respect?
I think this has to go to the NBA GM, who is the secret GM that everyone knows is actually the GM of his team. That's LeBron James. And we all know he's behind the scenes, making moves, getting the team that he wants. And he's always quick to trade that team. He will get rid of a teammate quick. Best friend, hey man, sorry D Wade, this ain't working out. Get rid of him at the trade deadline. He will change the team quick. And I think he wanted Russell Westbrook, got him. They wanted to make him a spot up shooter for some reason, and we all knew that wasn't going to work. So I'm hearing now everyone's like, hey, can they trade Russell? Can they trade Taylor Horton-Tucker for Ben Simmons? Like, I don't know what they're trying to do. But I think every time LeBron gets the team he asked for, he might not be the best GM, but he gets what he wants, right? He's that kid that he might be an only child because he's getting everything he wants. And so he's not exactly excited about the team that he gets. He's not grateful for it. So year in and year out, we're like waiting for LeBron's team to make some move at the deadline. So I think ungrateful for presence is the Lakers GM LeBron James.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I wouldn't say he's ungrateful. He views his presence as commodities, like trading cards. He's like, yeah, let's try to put together some trading cards. But that's why he's the GM, right? It's because he does think along those lines. It's actually funny. One of the things that I did was I actually picked another person that is a Lakers affiliate. But this guy was Dennis Schroeder. So I feel like Dennis Schroeder is a Schroeder, whatever, D Nasty, whatever his name is, little golden stripe, whatever. Yeah. So he was with the Lakers, had a really good chance to come back. They offered him a contract. He's like, nah, I'm better than that. And then the NBA told him that he was not better than that. Then he started riding the bench. I don't even know, is he starting now? I think he's still coming off the bench, right?
I'm not sure.
And that's what happened. So that's why he's ungrateful for his presence. He had so much limelight in LA. You're always going to be in the media. You're always going to be on TV. You have endorsement deals just because you're there. Food's way better. All these different things, you know. So I think he went to Boston, right? So he's still struggling. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Boston right now either. So that's another thing. Oh yeah,
Boston. The roads in Boston are weird. I'm not really feeling the road situation in Boston. To be honest, there's a lot of roundabouts. I'm not really feeling that.
Dude, side note, this totally went past my mind is that's another person that we should have put on the Red Rider team is the Boston Celtics, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
they wanted to make Brad Stevens, and they could have let him go, or they could have did whatever. But now they made him into their or what is he, GM now?
Yeah, he got a better job.
Yeah, he got a better job, and now he's not doing anything with it, and they're looking pretty bad. Antonio Brown should also be on that ungrateful presence. I feel like I put Antonio Brown as a potential for a lot of different things, So, oh well, man. Yeah, so ungrateful for their presence. Dennis Schroeder, sorry, man. You need to be a little bit more thankful. The next one is most in need of a gift, or the one that the parents forgot to buy a present. Like, what day is this? Oh, it's Christmas. My bad. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it's the one where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get you on the day after. Don't worry, or the week after, and the kid's just waiting, and they're sad. And for me, I looked at a couple of runner-ups from the last couple years, and I was just like, wow, they just need to get over the hill and reach the summit. And my number one was Gonzaga Basketball. This team has come so close. 2 separate championship games. You know, my Tar Heels beat them in 2017, and that was an unexpected great championship coming off that Villanova buzzer beater shot, which will live in infamy, unfortunately for us. But after that, they got into the championship this year, 2021, and they got blown out, right? Like, Baylor was not playing games this year, and this was what seemed like their best team. And now this year, they're coming for it again. They got Chet Holmgren doing their thing. So hopefully Gonzaga can reach the mountaintop. I know they've had some problems. They had their coach had that DUI. A lot of things kind of weird about the program right now, but hopefully they can get it together because they've been a model mid-major program. They've built the right way. They haven't had on the court and player controversy, and they keep getting so close. And so weirdly enough, people treat them like they're a major team, right? Like they're supposed to be there, but they're not supposed to be there. Every year they get there is a good year for them. Just unfortunately, if they don't close the deal, people are going to look at it like it's a disappointment. When that team should probably be Kentucky every year, that's them, right? Like that should have been another team. It should be, I don't know, UNC. It should be Kansas. Gonzaga shouldn't be this consistently good, and it actually works to their detriment. So I think they need the gift in terms of they need to be able to get over the mountaintop, get to the mountaintop, cross that, and win the championship.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see if they can do it. I definitely think that's a really solid pick. Who I was actually going to go for with this one was the Indiana Fever. So I don't know how much you've been watching WNBA, but the Fever have just been not doing well. Tamika Catchings is trying to run the organization right now. She's really trying to go for quality players and everything like that, which is really cool. But the 2 past picks they had, I think it was, or actually maybe the 3. Lauren Cox barely played, and she was the second or third overall pick. They didn't get the lottery that year. I think they were the top seed to get it. Didn't get it that year. Lauren Cox is out of the league, off the team already. They have another girl that they drafted last year with the number, was it 4 pick? Overdrafted her. People were just kind of like confused why this happened. She ended up sitting out the year, or a lot of the year, for personal reasons. So they did that. They had the worst record this year. They were favored to get the number 1 pick. They end up getting the number 2 pick this year. So again, the Fever are just all over the place. I hope that the Fever can get back to the level of competitiveness that they were at before. So I'm going to say that I think the Fever definitely need a present. So that's who I'm going with for my pick.
Honorable mention goes to University of Georgia football, who were dominating all year long, got beat by Alabama, seemed to get beat by Alabama in the big moments. They got beat by Alabama in a national championship game a few years back. They get beat by them in the SEC championship game. It's just always that hurdle that they don't seem to cross either. So I think they need a gift. They need to be able to beat Alabama in a big moment. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Cincinnati takes out Alabama and Georgia doesn't have to. But until then, Georgia, they could use a gift. They could use a weakened Alabama team or not having to play them at all in a championship situation.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say my second team, I'll stay with Indiana. The Pacers, they need a gift because they are so in between. They're all over. They got Chris Duarte, which is a good young pick, but they're just the meaning of mediocrity. If you could just put a face to that word. That's exactly who they would be. They don't know if they have a center or a power forward or two centers or they just can't get anything right. They have injuries now. They locked up Malcolm Brogdon for long term, and it's just like, what's going on with them? I don't know. So I'll give them my honorable mention. The last award goes to is the Home Alone Award. So the Home Alone Award for me is basically that award where there's somebody that has all the stuff that they could want in a house, and they're just playing around because they have the space, but they need to be careful because if they play around too much, then something bad could happen. So for me, I decided to go with Carson Wentz. I feel like he's back there playing around, doing too much. Think he just has a bunch of time, making crazy passes. Everybody's behind him. I saw he threw an interception. He went over to the coach, and the coach he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, did this, blah blah blah." And the coach was like, "Oh no, it's fine. You're good. You're fine." I'm like, he's fine that he threw an interception. He's like, "Yeah, all good. I trust you. You're good." That is just playing around. He is definitely Kevin from Home Alone with the Colts offense. So yeah, that's who I get for my Home Alone last award of the evening. So what about you, Jeremy?
I feel like this person has to have been left, abandoned. Everyone they love is gone, and then they just can do what they want, right? And of course, like you said, the wet bandits are coming, but in the meantime, they're really enjoying themselves. I think that's Steph Curry. I think Clay's out. Draymond's still there, but without his running mate Clay the last couple years, he's just been doing his thing. He's just been launching threes. He's been styling on them again. He's having fun. He's breaking records. I feel like he is in that Home Alone situation right now where he is just jumping on the bed right now, and he's loving it. He's shaving. He's putting the aftershave on and screaming. He's doing everything he could possibly want. He ordering pizza, everything. But at what point, maybe at some point, these other powerhouses are going to get their stuff together. Because right now, the Warriors are riding high. So who knows who's going to come for the Warriors in the West. Maybe they make it to the finals and they still have to play the Bucks again, for example, or something like that. But either way, he's riding high. He's living it up until Clay comes back because his family is gone to France and they're not even thinking about him.
Yeah, balling is definitely a habit for Steph Curry. So shout out to Steph, and what he's doing up there is crazy. Shout out to Jordan Poole for killing it as well, So I think it was a really cool show. Any last things you want to quickly add before we get out of here? Anything that we might have missed as well?
Oh, I had a couple of Red Rider teams that we don't need to go into depth, but a couple of the other Red Rider teams, the Texans, because of the Deshaun Watson situation, the Jaguars because of Urban Meyer, obviously, and we covered that a little bit before. So I think those are the other ones. Let's see. No, I think that's good. That's good. Yeah. So just had a lot of fun with this. We had to do a little bit faster than we normally would, so we might have not gone into the depth that we like to, but this was good. And you have any wish list or anything? I don't think I have much on my wish list this year. I just hope UNC has a good basketball season again. That's on my wish list. That's about it. But and a good Tampa Bayless Super Bowl. There you go. Those are my two things.
Yeah. I'll say I'll add two things and we'll wrap up and get out of here. One thing I should have put on the nice list, or just a shout out to Jackson State going 11-1. They did lose their bowl game, but they got the number 2 pick in the nation. So that's a big win for HBCUs and Jackson State. So shout out to them. We'll go out on a positive note. The other wish list, I hope that the Colts win the Super Bowl. I hope that Purdue wins the NCAA championship, and I hope that the Pacers get the number 1 pick. So that's what I'm hoping. And that's my wish list.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, this has been our Christmas special show. Thank you guys for joining. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and then share this with someone. It's definitely one that's an easy listen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we thank you for your time.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone out there listening.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. This is Beyond Sports with Paul and Jeremy. Take care and have a happy holidays. See you guys later.